Hi, my name's Adam Richardson. I'm creator of the Nephtali web framework, and in this screencast we'll take a look at how to set up templates using Nephtali. In previous screencasts we've been working on the Fabulo Coffee website, and if you recall from the previous screencasts, we had code for the header region of the page, the general layout, and the footer region of the page duplicated across every file on the site. Normally we try and avoid that type of redundancy and put that type of information in one file, so that way if you want to make an edit to the footer or to the header of the page, that's reflected across every file with a single edit. In Nephtali we do that with what are called templates. First, let's take a look at how the code used to look. Every file used to have the meta information here, the link to the style sheet, the special region here for IE7, the header region in the code which had the primary and utility navigations, and then a footer region here in addition to the content. What I did is, ahead of the screencast here, I pulled out that type of content from all the other pages in the site and I put that in a template file. Name doesn't matter, you can call it whatever you want, and you'll see how we wire it up in a little bit here. But I've put in I've marked the regions that I'll be able to override in the page. In Nephtali you just call them regions. Here I've got a title region, and that I've also got, in case I want to edit the metas for description or keywords, I've got a metas region, and I added a head region just in case I wanted to add a JavaScript to a particular page, and I've also added the content region here. You'll see that's where it begins and it runs down to here, and you'll see the footer and the other surrounding markup that was, again, in every single file of the site. I've pulled it all out into this one file, and so now we can just put in those particular regions that we want to vary from page to page, and Nephtali will merge them together using the template scheme. So let's look at a new page that's set up to use the template. You'll see we still put in the typical doc type, HTML, head. You don't have to, but I like putting in all the surrounding skeleton, so that way if I want to run validation on the code right through my IDE, I can run it right there. I don't have to put it up on a server somewhere and then test. So, and also some of the autocomplete functionality for some IDEs is improved by having the full document scheme there. So I've got the title here. I put in the specific title that'll override the title region, and I've got a content region here. So that's going to override the content region of the template. You'll notice I don't have the metas or the head regions in this particular document. That means it'll just use the default. It'll use what's in place in the template. So I've already uploaded these files to the server. Now let's see how we wire this up. In Nephtali, if you wanted to do it on a page-by-page basis, you certainly could put it directly into a page, but nregister.php is the spot we can put it in that allows us to put it to wire something up across the entire site, or by directory if we so desired. In this case, we want it for every file in the site, and you'll see I added the code right here. You just say n-template register. You pass in the path of the template file. Again, the name doesn't matter. We just have to tell it where it is. And then we tell it what regions we've identified in the template that should be overridable by the page. In this case, I've set up a title region, a metas region, content region, and head region, and I pass those in. With this in place, and actually I'll upload this just to finish the uploading process. With this in place, we can now go back to the website and see, refresh, that I've uploaded everything new. we still see the same presentation we saw before, but now instead of having all this code, I'll bring up the source code just for a quick peek here. Instead of seeing all of this code duplicated across every file in the site, it's put in one template file, and then we override the regions that we'd like to. Of note, you can also nest multiple templates using Nephtali. In that case, if you were going to nest templates, you'd actually just add a couple other references here. If you wanted to have one template that was for a split page, two-column page as opposed to a single column, you could add another template here and call it template 2 column and identify the new regions that would be, in this case we'll just say column 1, column 2, and you could then override the content field, the content region from the previous template, and allow that specific page to determine what should appear in a column 1 and a column 2 region for the page. So you have complete flexibility. You can nest as you need to, and this allows you to keep a very clean site in terms of markup, not having to duplicate across the entire site. Thank you for watching.